It's back to school time, and if you've checked our area stores lately, the shelves are looking a little bare because parents have no doubt loaded up on all those school supplies for kiddos for the start of the new school year. And it comes at a price, a hefty one as well. It's estimated that the average family will spend $519 per student just this year. And that can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if you've got multiple kiddos in school. So we're bringing in the experts. We're bringing in Deanne Phillips this afternoon. She's the Director of Client Learning and Development for Annex Wealth Management, also a certified financial planner and a mom herself. So Deanne, welcome to the show. A familiar voice. We hear you about once a week here on WHBY. Hi, Deanne.
That's right. Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, this is such a timely topic this time of year. So many families are in that back to school mode right now.
Yep, we're there too, getting ready we're waiting to the last minute, so we are actually doing it this weekend, which is, I think, according to surveys, the third most popular weekend for those last-minuters, right, to get the shopping done.
Yeah, I'd believe it. Now, when I saw that price tag, though, Deanne, for just one student, that $519 price tag, that's a bit of sticker shock. Wow.
That is, and when you do the math, there are approximately 54 million kids in America who are heading back to school, so that really adds up. So you can imagine the retailers are chomping at the bit with their sales and their promotions, because when shoppers think about heading the stores for not just school supplies, but of course back to school clothing, actually the shopping malls and retailers, as opposed to online, are still the way that shoppers are going.
Wow. So those brick and mortar stores are still holding strong.
They are, and shoppers and consumers are really demanding sales and discounts from those retailers. So price is most definitely the top consideration for people. People are willing to give a little on their experience at retailers for things like carrying what's on their school list and competitive pricing. But even the convenience of everything under one roof, like a super retailer, can save time and be more convenient. So while it might seem convenient for people to go online, many parents still like the chance to hang with their kid before they go back to school and do that shopping. And, of course, this is a great time to teach a little bit of fiscal responsibility to children.
Absolutely. There's always a little sentimental moments in remembering those back-to-school shopping sessions. I have a little soft spot for those myself. But, yeah, you bring up a really good point. It's a good way to kind of get some smart money thoughts in the minds of our little ones. So how can parents really think about budgeting for their kids and maybe instill that in a young age?
Well, I know. So my daughter is going to be a junior. And so as a CFP, the poor kid has been my guinea pig with her piggy bank from the very beginning of how do you ingrain, fiscal responsibility in a child. So, first off, schools publish lists of the school supplies. And I think people may have noticed that there are kits popping up everywhere for the local schools, like in their local Target or their retailer or their Walmart, that says, if you go to this school, here's a kit for this grade, right? Well, the thing is, I challenged my child to take a look at her list, and she found so much crossover from the year before where she had not used all of her supplies. So she took the list and she was able to cross several off and go, Mom, I don't need more pens. I don't need more of this. I've got my calculators. Okay, I made an extra battery. I don't need extra paper. So there's savings right there that we're able to do. And in fact, while it seems, and it might be more convenient to just grab that kit and go of the pre-stocked supplies for your kids, grade and school, you actually might be spending more for that convenience. So taking the time to really break it down can be one way to save some money, especially for those people who have that $519 times however many kids. So I have her review the list. And then we also want to remind children that it's not just the cost of the item, but there's a sales tax in the state of Wisconsin, too, and local taxes. So that $1 pack of pens really costs them $1.06. And this is a good time to explain to the younger ones that tax pays for police, fire departments, road repairs, things that we might take for granted but are really important to our community. So, and I also now, my daughter, she's 16, so her eye is less on the supplies and more on the clothes, which at $500. I have her go online and look at ideas of what she wants in terms of back-to-school clothes, and then we'll go together and try on for fit and quality if necessary. But we always start with that budget. So, and give that budget way ahead of time, right, so that she can work through and do the math any way she wants. So if she knows we're starting with $500 and those shoes she wants are $150, then there's only $350 left for the remaining items. So maybe some comes from online shopping. Maybe there's some specific to a certain extracurricular need, like my daughter's in mock trials, so she needs dress pants for this year. I'm like, great, a couple ways we can get them. At Kohl's, we may be able to pick them up for $30, but if you want those ones from Express, they could cost 3 times that. So that gives her the power to her to kind of look over her budget and manage it the way she wants. And so for older kids, particularly in high school, I think that's a really great way to do an introduction into budgeting.
Now, you mentioned those older kiddos, but what about our elementary schoolers? Can we still start teaching them some smart money things at a young age?
You bet. So I love this. So when I used to take my daughter when she was young, it was to Target, superstore, right? And what do they hit you with the second you walk in the doors? It's that dollar section, right? Those dollar things add up. And I would always turn to my daughter and say, did you bring your piggy bank? Did you bring your piggy bank? And, sometimes it's for fun stuff that they want, but sometimes it can be a little bit more than that dollar section. So remember, a part of that back to school are still, for some kids, electronics. That can blow your budget out of the water there. And sometimes it's good to just let it sit. So do 2 things to help control for little kids. First off, walk away from those impulse items and then come back to them. And sometimes the coming back might not be in the same shopping trip, right? It could be even later on. But also, you can put cash in an envelope and give them kind of control of handing over the money. And that, for a little one, gives them a real tangible feel of, this is what I have to spend, now I have less left, and make them hand it to the retailer. That gives them a feel from the beginning. And by the way, yes, my daughter still to this day, if she's doing a big purchase, will physically bring her piggy bank.
I have a toddler, and she is all about the piggy bank and Grandpa, who brings her a quarter every time he visits. So those are going to start adding up, I'm sure. I love all these tips, Deanne. They really are smart. And I think adults can also take a good reminder when it comes to all of these. So what do you think parents should think about when going into this back-to-school season as a whole that maybe can help them a little bit in their overall financial goals?
So I like to divide overall financial goals into 4 different areas, and that would be to spend, on things that are necessary, to save for a future. Maybe it's that electronic you really want for the future that you need. Invest for your future, whether it's for college for a kid or putting away for retirement or another goal. So investing meaning making your money work for you. And then there's donate. And certainly, we're going to hear in retailers too, would you like to round up for the school district for kids who are needy, or would you like to round up for this charity? So it's also a good time to talk about giving back to the community and what that means. One final tip I do want to talk about, though, that I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir, as in myself with this, and that's when we go on these shopping trips, sometimes they incorporate coffee or lunch, and that can add up too. So this is another pointer. And with school lunches or kids, as they get older, my daughter can go off campus for lunch, which blows me away. But, it's a chance to go to Starbucks and say, gee, $5 coffee. It sounds like not much right now, but if you did that every day of the workday, that could add up to $1,300 over a whole year. What could you be doing with that money instead? So this is kind of a challenge for parents to think of also. We want to be sure we're aware of that miscellaneous category spending.